What's up, people? Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Janey, aka Janey of Canada, and today I have a very special guest on the channel. But first, welcome. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new, where have you been? And if you're returned and subscribed, what's up, my people? Please, if you're new, like, comment and share. Even if you're returning and subscribe, trust me, it means a lot. It goes a long way. Y'all know how I've been talking about my brother and his influence in my immigration journey, like in almost every story. I'm going to tell you about how he lost his PR card and how he got it back after being stranded for 6 weeks in Mexico. And so without further ado, let's get into it. But speaking about PR and PR, recently this man went on a vacation to Mexico for 1 week. And what happened?
I lost my PR card.
Sorry, I remember the day he told me, I was just like, wait, what? So you lost your PR card and you were stranded in Mexico for almost 6 weeks, give or take?
Yeah, I'll say like a month. Because I was in Mexico for I think a total of 6 weeks.
I was counting because I had
six
Bubbles, his dog, around. So I was like, how long do I have to get to keep this amazing animal? Okay, so tell me, I know you've shot a video on your YouTube channel, which we're going to plug really quickly. But tell me, high level, what did you have to do when you lose your PR card? So if you have a lost or stolen PR card, what would you tell people to do?
Well, I think this is the fun part, guys, because this really brings you to the edge where I mostly live, okay? So
Very scary place.
I get the breeze and the air and the views from the edge. But what happened is really it should have not been that way, but the PR card is really just a card, right? And for me, I keep cards that I use like often in my wallet, right? So
often, you don't use it often, but continue.
PR card was in my wallet, right? And so I initially planned to go to Cancun, Mexico for a week in February, where it's like the coldest. That's when I want to travel. So I'd literally gone out for drinks like the night before I was supposed to fly back, right? So I think, if I remember exactly, the Monday, Valentine's Day in 2022 was when I was supposed to fly back. And so I got for drinks and my wallet was in my pocket somewhere. I was going back to the residence and I think I'd lost the wallet in the taxi that I took back home. I didn't even have my hotel keys. And then, listen guys, you gotta have a lot of money if you're gonna make mistakes like this. I'll be honest with you, because the first thing I had to pay for literally was like getting a spare key to get into my hotel room, right? So, because everything was in my wallet and I lost my wallet, and the security is not like the way it is in Canada, where like maybe you might have nice taxi drivers call you back in case you call them and say, or if it was Uber, they might like say, hey, you lost something there. This is just a regular taxi, and that's what you're gonna find mostly in Mexico, Cancun. And so the guy taking off, and it was 3 a.m. in the morning. I didn't have my PR card, I didn't have my debit cards, and I didn't have anything. Somehow I think I had some cash on me, and that's how I was able to pay for hotel keys, get into my room, and sort of like park my stuff and organize. And in a couple of hours, I had to go to the airport, because that was like early Monday morning. So That's how I lost my PR card.
Now, bullet points. What are the 1, 2, 3, 4 things you're gonna say? Okay, if you were in my situation, losing your PR card, here's exactly what you need to do.
Okay, so bullet points. First things first. If you are gonna travel, don't go to the airport, right? Like, this is, just take it from me. I went to the airport, I found out that I can't travel if you don't have the PR card, and being a PR, a permanent residence, that's your status, right?
Okay.
So
sorry, I need to put a caveat at this point, because once that happened to you, I was talking to a couple people, and I had somebody who is from the Bahamas who said she had lost, or her PR card got stolen, and she got to the airport and told them that her PR card was stolen and she was still able to fly. My sense is the fact that it depends on your original passport too, where your passport is from, and what type of visas you are allowed into Canada. For instance, people from the Bahamas don't need to get a visa to come into Canada. They get an ETA. like the day before they leave. So it may be different to depending on where your original passport, what country you're a citizen from.
Yeah, it depends. Like I have a Nigerian passport.
His
so
green passport, like.
if I'm to be exact, right? If you have a Nigerian passport and you're in Mexico, do not go to the airport. And this is being exact, right? So you can always call and ask, right, before you actually go. Just to save you that like cab fare and the time as well. But I wanted to try and see. You know, I had all the documents with me. I still had my work permit because I just recently got my PR card. So I was like, yeah, I'll show them my work permit, and you know they'll understand the situation. But the first thing you have to do is don't worry about going to the airport. You're gonna reschedule that flight. You do need, number one, a police report. You need to get a police report. And that just, says to everyone that you're not making any stories up, that indeed you have lost or the PR card was stolen from you. So you need a police report. And another reason why you need a police report is not just for show and tell, but you're going to use that in an application, which is number two, that you have to make to get that PR card sort of like replaced so that you can travel.
And so the application is what, the temporary permanent resident document?
The application is it's actually called a PRTD for short. It's a permanent residence travel document, right?
Okay.
So there's no temporary PR card. It's just a permanent residence travel document. It's sort of like a visa. So you will need to have your passport and send your passport to immigration in whatever country you're in. But Canadian immigration, right? And keep in mind, they might have like halfway houses. Like in Mexico where I was, it was prime time COVID. And so there was this halfway house.
VFS, usually like a visa processing service office.
And by the way, guys, all this information is online at the Canadian government website. Okay, we're just breaking it down to you, so you're not reading a lot of text and getting confused, right? So you're not sending it to the embassy. You're not sending it to Canadian immigration. You're sending it to a halfway house. They'll look over your application and say, yes, it's good. We're going to forward it to Canadian immigration, right? And in that application, you're going to have a form that's filled out. You're going to have your police report. You're going to have a written like letter of what happened. You're going to have payments because you need to make payments. And you're going to have a photo passport. You know, like the
passport photograph.
Yeah, you're going to have a passport photograph that's going to be current and like
so there's a lot to do, pretty much.
There is a lot for you to put together. And
how much was the application? Do you remember?
The application cost around it was like $300 or something like that, 300 Canadian. So
wow.
It's about $250 or so for the application, and then another $50 for some service fees and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
So and then the photograph, like I was in Mexico, it wasn't
expensive to take.
It wasn't expensive at all.
So I guess the last question then really is, how long did the entire process take from when you sent in that application to when you got it back?
So February 15th, just literally the day after Valentine's Day, I turned in the application. Because my flight was the 14th. I missed that because I went to the airport. They wouldn't let me fly. They told me what I needed, and after a long time deliberating with the officials there and asking for a way to fly, if there's anything that they can do for me. Was there no police officer in the airport? They're like, no, there's no police officer in the airport. It's just border agents or something like that. And so I now booked an Airbnb. I had to leave the airport, get back to my Airbnb, relax for the night. But in the process of relaxing, I'm doing my research, right? I'm finding out what I need. And because at that time it's like 5 o'clock, all businesses are closing, so you can't really do much, around that time of the day.
Yeah.
And so I set out for first thing in the morning to get the photograph done, go to a business sort of like cafe with computers and printers and all that stuff, and to fill out the application. And the reason why the application had to be done on paper, it was I think there was something with the online application where it was not preferred. Okay, they actually said that on the website that they prefer an actual photo document. I can't even imagine how you're gonna upload a picture up if you were doing an online application. But if that option is available as well, take that. But definitely what I recommend is going to the website and reading, sort of like the best method. When I was in Cancun in February, after looking at the website, the best method at that time was to send in a paper application. So that started in February 15, and it took me all the way to March 27, guys. March 27 before I picked up my my document from immigration.
Passport.
Now, mind you, the passport initially come like a week earlier from immigration, but there was some issues with my sort of return address where, because I was staying in Airbnbs, I was moving around at the time.
Yeah.
And this is why, like, you know, I still think the immigration has some work to do around there, but I was literally staying in different Airbnbs every week, just getting the experience of what Cancun was like. So the Airbnb I was staying when I made the application is not the same one I'm staying right now. And apparently, they tried to deliver it there. I wasn't there to sign, so it took another like couple of days for me to pick it back up at the DHL depot. So altogether, it could have been what did you say? 6 weeks? It could have been 5 weeks, but you can expect somewhere around that time frame.
Okay. Wow, that is an interesting experience. We definitely don't wish it for on anyone. So I'm hoping that by the time you're watching this video, it's not because you've lost your PR card. It's just you just really wanted to chat about the Canadian immigrant journey and you just learned something new. But if this conversation was helpful for you, please give it a like, comment, and make sure you're subscribed with the bell click, because that's how we stay motivated to make videos like this. And thank you so much, bro, for coming on the channel.
Thank you, sis.
Is there anything you want to leave? You want to put a plug on how we can continue to follow your story? Let us know.
I do talk more about this on my channel. It's the Hangout King. You can search for that.
I'm going to put the link in the description.
And you can search for the PR stories. I also do a lot of videos on cars because I'm a car guy. And I think the exciting part about this is that the whole month that I was waiting, I was, you know, it was a horrible experience. I don't wish that for anybody. But I still took that as an opportunity to sort of like tour Cancun. So
yes.
I will be dropping a video on my channel.
I can't wait.
It's going to be about my experience in Cancun in general. A lot of tips for you guys there, because it's a beautiful place to visit, not far from sort of like Canada. We're talking, you're still in North America, right? So a lot of tips there for you. It's the Hangout King on YouTube, and you can search the PR Lost Card. Or,
yes, there's a whole detailed video on
Cancun.
the entire process, and I'll link that as well in the description box so folks can just click straight to it. Thank you so much for coming on the channel. If you like it. If you love it, comment and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Peace.